Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Get ready to rumble. Or in Biden's case, get ready to mumble. Locking it up. Trump Biden expected to clinch GOP Democrat presidential nominations in Tuesday's primaries. Biden and Trump will formally kick off their 2024 general election rematch as they lock up their party's nominations. And here we go, Super Fight 2. Will Rocky beat? Let's read on. I'm laughing because it's so serious. It really is. And it's such a huge deal, this election, that there's so much at stake. It's frightening. And sometimes I have to joke around about it just to help ease my concern about what's going to happen. Let's read on. President Biden and former President Trump are expected to make their 2024 general election rematch official on Tuesday. This reminds me a little bit in history, even though the people aren't the same in character even, of the Andrew Jackson, John Quincy Adams deal. Anybody go back and read that. It's very interesting. That's when the Democratic incumbent and his Republican predecessor in the White House are all but certain to officially clinch the two major parties, and they already have. With no major challengers left, both Biden and Trump are expected to collect all or nearly all the delegates up for grabs in Tuesday's contest, which they did. And each is over the top now. So now they're the presumptive nominee for each of their parties. Biden, of course, being Democrat and Trump Republican. Interesting picture there. Trump swept 14 to 15 GOP primaries in the caucuses a week ago on Super Tuesday, which moved him closer to officially locking up the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. And Trump's last rival for the nomination, former U.S. Ambassador and former Governor Nikki Haley, dropped out of the race, which, by the way, used to work for Trump. Trump currently has 1,078 delegates. He needs 15 to lock it up, which he did. 59 GOP delegates are up for grabs in Georgia with 40, and it goes on. And Biden, of course, locked up his nomination for the Democrats as well. So let's just move on and talk about what's going to happen next. This is going to be a frickin' free-for-all. You think that 2016, 2020, even the midterms in 22 were gigantic cluster blanks and chaos and screaming and underhandedness, people trying to push their advantage, change laws. I mean, you could go right down the list. Everything they did from 2016 to date, they're going to double and triple. It's going to be absolute hellscape. There's going to be so much crap floating around, it's going to be hard to tell truth from reality, reality from the truth, the matrix from the, it's going to be insane. Georgia should put Biden over the top if he captures all 108 delegates, which he did. Both Biden and Trump made campaign stops in Georgia. It was also a crucial general election battleground state. Now, it looks like Georgia is leaning, or I shouldn't say leaning, is pretty much safe red, which is a big, huge deal because Georgia's a state that Trump has to win. The rematch between Biden and Trump is the first for the White House since 1956, when Republican President Dwight Eisenhower defeated former Democratic Governor Adlai Stevenson of Illinois. Now, by a weird coincidence, 1956 is the year I was born. There's an Adlai Stevenson quote that I like, and I'm not going to say who he was talking about, but it's just an interesting quote. Adlai Stevenson said, "America's a great country. Anybody can be president. That's the risk you take." He ended up being the UN ambassador as well, by another weird coincidence, under John F. Kennedy, after he was defeated by Dwight Eisenhower. Adlai Stevenson was a Democrat nominee in 2 cycles. So, what's going to happen? Super Fight 2, Electric Boogaloo. It's just, how can you possibly predict? I don't mean just the winner, but possibly what's going to happen between now and then. The Democrats, I got to tell you, the Republicans aren't perfect. I'm not saying they're saints by any means. But the Democrats are so far off the freaking cliff. They could pull anything because in their minds, the whole country is at stake if Trump wins. So anything goes. Dirty, legal, not legal. I mean, who knows what's in store as these criminal charges and civil charges pass through Trump and they finally get settled one way or another. Trump's going to be convicted of one of them. It's just the law of averages. And then what's going to happen? They're going to want to put him in prison and let him campaign from jail and blah, 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 blah. It's insane. It's insane. Democrats, putting your political rival in jail so you can win an election is the most effed up thing I have ever heard of in politics in the U.S. And there's been some effed up things in the past, believe me, that are actually worse than this. But unfortunately, or fortunately, back then, they didn't have the media. They didn't have cable news. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have 10,000 talking heads all telling lies or stretching the truth or trying to put their opponents in jail. It's for the average voter to try to sift through the information and make a choice is like getting a drink out of a fire hose. So much is going to get by you. But I know this for certain. To break it down simply, not because you're not smart enough to figure it out, and most of my viewers are on this channel, intelligent, rational people. The fact of the matter is this. The old Ronald Reagan saying, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? If you're not, then make your choice accordingly. Until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.